I
love that intro.
Dude, I could watch that again over and over and over again. That was awesome. That was awesome. Today, we have a special guest who will be joining the Godzilla Nerds podcast today. His name is Kyle, and I met Kyle through a Godzilla Facebook group. And he put up this post that it caught my attention. I forgot what the post even said. I know it was about Gamera and how he would have this how would it be if he had this lead role, I believe, in the Monsterverse. But when I met him, I knew right then he had a passion about kaiju. So not only does he have a passion about kaiju, not only does he have a passion about the films, the movies, but he's also an artist. So we would like to welcome our special guest, Kyle. Bam.
Hello.
How you doing, Kyle? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just still living through, hoping I try not to get stomped by kaiju anyway.
So before we really start asking questions, Kyle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Wonton, New York, and I basically grew up watching Godzilla before everything else. But it's a funny story. Whenever I, start getting into things, I just basically just somehow grow attached to it. I was first introduced to Godzilla, I think it was back in 2004 when I was in the hallways with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to get some games for the PS2 before PlayStation 5 started. I saw the Incredibles PS2 game, and then I saw Godzilla, which was titled Save the Earth. And I was like, what is that? Is that a dinosaur? And I was like, when you were a kid, you kind of grew up watching dinosaurs and you have this big passion for it. And then like a couple of years later, when I started watching Dragon's Fantasy Made Real, looking through the main menu, then that's when I saw the title Godzilla. And I was like, okay, why don't I get into Godzilla? And then I got into Gamera, I got into the Ultra series. I pretty much got into everything. So this is sort of like my passion.
Oh man, that's an awesome, unique entry into kaiju. By the way, so what we like I told you before we actually came on live, Kyle. What we like to do is we like to build a platform not just for us but for others who get to share their experience with kaiju. Because there's a lot of people out there who has a lot of great ideas. They have a great backstory to how they became, whether it's a Pacific Rim fan, a Gamera fan, a Godzilla fan, whoever. Somebody always have a unique story to tell, and that's what this platform is for. I mean, when we're still growing ourselves, so we want to make you comfortable. We're here to have fun. This is a very opinionated podcast. Nobody's going to hurt you. Nobody's going to stone you. I mean, you're here to speak your mind, and we're here to laugh, man, and we're here to get some good insight. Nick gives good insight all the time. Remy gives good insight all the time, and Serge does as well, and we know that you will too. So this episode is all about you. We got a lot of questions for you. I'll ask the first actual question that I have for you is what was the first kaiju movie that you saw that just made you become a kaiju fan forever?
It started with I think it was King Kong that first got me into giant monsters. I really wasn't very familiar with the kaiju from the start, but the first King Kong movie I ever watched was the 1976 King Kong. I remember watching it with my dad, and my family kind of grew up watching King Kong until like somewhere in the late 2006, and that's when I got into Godzilla. So that's how this all happened. And then later in 2009, I suddenly got into Gamera recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I just somehow started developing fall in love with more giant monsters, and then I got into the Ultra series, which is Ultraman. I wasn't very familiar with Ultraman or like Gamera and Red King and all. That's somehow developed my interest as a massive kaiju fan that I am now.
That's awesome. That's sweet. That's awesome. And again, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on because I was like, I know for sure this guy's really knowledgeable. I know he knows what he's talking about. And as soon as me and Nick got off the test run with you, we went straight to the group. I was like, yeah, this guy's awesome. I was like, yeah, he's awesome, man. We're gonna have a good time with him. We're gonna have fun with him. And I know you said your first movie was the King Kong 1976 film, so that is a one heck of an introduction to start getting into the kaiju genre. Nick, Remy, I'll pass it to one of you guys if you guys have a question that you would like to ask Kyle.
Yeah, I'll let Nick go first.
As always, go ahead.
What brought your attention to watch Gamera like the way he is now?
I think it was Cinemassacre's top 10 giant movie monsters that introduced me to him because he loves those three monsters, and I feel like they're like Godzilla is more like Mickey, Kong is more like Kong is more like Donald. Forgive me, and then and then Gamera's more like Goofy because like I can feel like they're kind of like the three musketeers of the Kaiju Ega.
Yeah, heck yeah. But Gamera, and like me, you talked about Kyle. He's underrated in terms to me as popularity because a lot of people's not familiar with him, especially with a lot of people who's a part of the Monsterverse genre. Because I know Godzilla from the Showa, the Heisei, the Millennium, so I've known him throughout, and I've also known Gamera. Remy, is there anything that you would like to ask Kyle? Uh-oh. Where's Remy? I think Remy's freezing up on us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he is.
Let me see if I can get him back on here.
No, there you
There we go. There you go, Remy. Is there anything you'd like to ask Kyle, Remy?
Yeah. Kyle, my question is that what is your favorite kaiju movie at the moment? Like just like at the time of your in this time of your life, what do you consider to be your number one favorite monster film?
Oh man. Normally I would love to suggest one. It's like picking your favorite kid, but
I know it's hard.
If I had to really pick my favorite kaiju film, that would be Mega Monster Battle Ultra Galaxy Legends, because this movie has a lot of Ultra monsters in it, and it's kind of like Godzilla Final Wars, but with Ultraman, when you there's no nonstop action. Gamera is kind of like the main monster hero, along with the Ultra Warriors. So it's kind of like the Godzilla of the Tsuburaya series. So he went from villain to kid-friendly superhero, as we all see in classic Godzilla movies.
Godzilla's got he's got a lot of he has a lot of classic movies. Kyle, now this question is going to be similar to Remy, just a little bit similar. So I want to know, at this point in time right now, who is your favorite kaiju and why?
Oh man. Normally I would always go for Godzilla, but I'm gonna go for I think if I want to avoid Godzilla, because I know he's always my favorite, but my favorite kaiju is it's definitely gonna be oh my god, it's so hard to pick. I would have to pick I would say Golza, for example, because I would love to pick them all, but I would say Golza.
Okay.
Golza, he's kind of like the ancient god monster of the Ultraman Tiga series, and he's really become my fan favorite.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad choice outside of Godzilla. I'm always picking Godzilla regardless, because I just have to do it. I can't pick against Godzilla. If I pick anybody else, I feel like I'm just letting Godzilla down.
Yeah,
But
I
I mean,
feel like we need to respect the character more, but I think we need to like focus on other different monsters from even besides America or Japan, but around the world eventually.
right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of cool villains, and not even just villains, but a lot of cool monster heroes, anti-heroes, however you view them or look at them. I think there's always a lot of cool kaiju out there. So that's why we're always searching, we're always looking. And again, that's what this platform is for. We love knowledge, we love to just inform one another, and we just go from there. So some really, really good answers so far. I'm already loving this. Nick, you have any more questions that you would like to ask Kyle?
Nothing comes to mind at the moment.
This is awesome. What about you, Remy?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Kyle, what was your first ever? So I heard that. So Tano tells us that you're an artist, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So my question is that what was your first kaiju drawing that you ever did?
Um, man, the first one I started drawing was it was my original made kaiju. Was actually I haven't really named for it yet, but I think I do have the artwork of it. This is my own original kaiju. I think I'm naming him. Um,
Dude, that's awesome. That's
Ooh,
awesome, bro.
Wow.
I don't know what to name him, but whoever got everyone is out there have a name suggestion for this monster. Feel free to leave them in the comments. So I don't mind like what could be a great name for this.
Yeah, that's awesome. See, I'm a
Uh,
terrible, like, I have all these ideas, but I'm
that.
just stuck at drawing, bro. Like, I'm a terrible artist. They have
Yeah.
so many good ideas. So, and just to piggyback off of Remy, where do you get your ideas from when you're creating? Because you're obviously a visionary because you're an artist. So, where do you get your ideas from when drawing your own kaiju instead of drawing a kaiju like a Mothra, a Rodin, a Gamera, etc., etc.?
Um, it all comes into my head. I just don't think it right away. I just usually um leave it as it is until like probably like the next morning or probably after when you like go somewhere else or what do you really want to do. It just pops in your head. It just eventually just pop just like a balloon, like how it would pop, and then I could just start drawing it right away. So I
Ah,
recently did
Nice.
two original monsters I thought could be a big fit for the Monsterverse, like Kakadana and Denshu.
yeah.
All right.
Heck yeah. So-
Oh, like
Will you get out of the camera?
And I'm guessing, like, depending on what you're creating at the moment, how long does it normally take you to draw a kaiju creature?
it takes probably about like 2 or 3 weeks, depending on like how many weeks or months there is. So
Oh,
I have
okay,
a
okay,
lot of
gotcha.
projects in my head, so it's like I don't stop. It's like be busy as a bee, and I just don't usually like stop until what I'm really gonna draw and whatnot.
Dude, that's awesome. Having a passion for art. Again, I have all the ideas in the world, but these hands are not made to draw. Because my handwriting is already terrible anyway. So my hands are not made to do anything creative at all.
Mm.
Um, So we talked about, the art, your first kaiju film. So I got a pretty good question for you, Kyle. Um, if you could produce one movie centered around a Titan or kaiju, who would it be and why?
Um, this is a really interesting one. I would say if I were making an original kaiju, I would have to look back into some past histories, like say, like the oil spill that happened like over 11 years ago.
Mhm.
Originally, I was gonna make that monster that was homage to or the metaphor of the oil spill and that create that happen. how did that happen? Did that monster came in contact with oil, or did someone accidentally just shut that system down and all explosion, and then we created a monster? That's how we see with Godzilla, because he's the metaphor of the atomic bomb, and we all see that in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So if you watch the original film from 1954, we can all understand that Tomiyuki Tanaka, the producer of his classic films, came up with the idea of looking down through the ocean. What would happen if there was a monster that was awakened and mutated by nuclear radiation? So, and same thing that happened with Cloverfield, because during the 9/11 incident, which I'm right here in New York, that happened in 2008 when the filmmakers like J. Abrams decided to make a monster movie that was almost like the 9/11 incident, and that's how Cloverfield came to be.
Man, that's awesome. That's a pretty good idea, and I like that theory, having a Titan being mutated from oil. So that's cool. Gives us a lot of good insight. And again, we love to hear the ideas because everybody has such a creative mind, and that is awesome. That is really really awesome.
That comes in mind. You just gotta just be patient and just don't force it in your head. You just gotta let it be.
We got
it almost reminds me of Shin Godzilla, almost like how Shin Godzilla kind of pays homages to the tsunamis and earthquakes that have happened in Japan in recent years. Like your storyline kind of reminds me of that.
That's true, because whatever you pay attention to, I would say what's around you, say the news or the pandemic we're living in. Somebody can create a monster that is based off of what we're living in right now.
That's true.
Right. So we have we got some questions for you, Cal, in the comments. Dragon says hi.
What up, Dragon?
Alex, how you doing, Alex? He says hi. And then here's a question for you. Have you guys ever heard or watched the Spectre Man series? Dragon, I have not, but feel free to feel free to fill us in the comments and let us know what it is, because I have no problem checking it out.
Yeah.
That's on my to watch list. I'm definitely going to plan to see Spectre Man one day, if I have time, because I'm definitely going to scroll through Amazon. So to answer your question, dude, that's a really good show that you recommend. So thank you.
So yeah, I need to check that out. Have you ever seen Spectre Man? So that'll definitely be something to check out, kind of expand my range a little bit. This question I have for all of you guys. Cal, I'll let you chime in first. How do you think the Monsterverse has performed so far? And what's your favorite Monsterverse movie so far?
I would say the Monsterverse was very, very well done in my perspective, but it's more like DC and Marvel cinematic universe, but with giant monsters in it. And I feel like bringing Godzilla and the other 4 Toho co-stars and Kong was very creative and very cool. But I feel like we really need to expand that horizon a little bit, but ask some other Japan and other monster studios like Cloverfield or Gamera and all that stuff to be added. The rights are all right, but Toho back in the old days were very strict. So, but now Toho is very flexible about that. So now they're having the Godzilla in their own rights. But
and I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that the Monsterverse Toho is flexible, because now we can see more crossover movies with Godzilla and some more of the Titans that they've created. So I think that's awesome as well, especially in this day and age, this era, because I doubt a lot of people will go back and watch the show the Heisei, or the Millennium era. So I think for this era, I think it's really, really a good time for Toho to expand, which they have. So I give them credit. They've come out of their shell. They have learned how to expand. So you can't beat that.
That's true.
Second part of the question: what is your favorite MonsterVerse movie so far, and why?
I have to say, I'm always going to say King of the Monsters, but I would say Godzilla versus Kong, because don't get me wrong, I love King of the Monsters, and I really am happy that they brought Ghidorah, Rodin, and Mothra back. But Godzilla versus Kong was really amazing, and it did a really phenomenal job. It raised up the box office levels, and really did a great job to humanize both Godzilla and Kong, because I feel that's what we all fans want. We want to see more of the monsters, but not the human characters. Because I think the human characters are fine, but we only need them like just for a little bit amount of time, but not too much.
Yeah, and you're right. And I always say, and I'm kind of back and forth between Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla versus Kong, because you have an opportunity to see Godzilla and Kong on the big screen together, and that was
Yeah,
the first time that happened.
It's about like
in a long time.
59 years, to be quite honest. So since the last time both of these monsters had fought. And it's amazing to see them going at each other again after through failed development throughout every other film.
Right. And one of the issues I had with King of the Monsters was I wanted Ghidorah to be a little bit more destructive. I wish he would have been more of a boogeyman in that film. Like, I mean, we know he's the three-headed dragon. We know he can fly. We know he has to tail. But I wanted him to be a tad bit more destructive. I think a lot of when Rodan and Ghidorah was flying over Washington, I believe they could have used that time to show King Ghidorah even more, just going crazy. I think that's one of the things I would have loved to see, because Rodan to me has one of the best scenes in the Monsterverse. Like that that was awesome how Michael Dougherty was able to. Yeah, he was able to do it. That was awesome.
He really loves
It's like one of the top Monsterverse movies. I mean, Monsterverse moments right there. This Rodan's entire scene.
Yeah, man, that is awesome.
Yeah, seeing that scene just does remind me of the 1956 film of his debut film.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept that where he flies over things and he just blows everything up. Like, Rodan was ahead of his time when he was created. I mean, just think about the idea, him flying and just demolishing buildings, demolishing cars, buses, demolishing people. Like, and I know that sounds bad, but it's so cool. It's just so cool how he does it. Nick, how do you think the Monsterverse performed so far, and what's your favorite Monsterverse film so far?
The way it's produced, I enjoy it. I think America did have a huge comeback when they dropped the 2014 Godzilla after they first made the 1998 version. You know, that was their first test run, and it was kind of crappy because we've known Godzilla to fight other creatures, other kaijus, not just get hit with tanks, missiles, and die. We know Godzilla as a tank, the way he is built. And I feel like when they made the 2014 version, they did it right. They got it perfect.
That's true.
Introducing him
Godzilla 93
as this now was perfect. I feel like the Monsterverse is very good the way it is now. As far as the future goes, I don't know how many films they're planning on doing. Keep it going. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys knocked it off with the 2014. Then you guys knocked it off with, Kong Skull Island. You made it even better with Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And now Godzilla versus King Kong. Oof, you guys did it spectacular.
Yeah.
Now the next movie you guys are planning on, we already know it's gonna climb the ladder. It's gonna be best after best after best after best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make the next movie about this guy.
Yeah,
make the next one about him.
You know what?
We need Gamera. We need him back. Please.
It would be interesting I'm gonna be honest. It would be interesting to see the king of all monsters go against him as the next movie. It would be an interesting fight.
Yeah, yeah,
That
it'd
would
be
be
a.
pretty cool.
That's. I'll be in the front row for that fight. If I get stepped on, I get stepped on. That's
Honestly,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
if I get squashed, I get squashed.
I would yell "World Star" from the top of a building. World Star! Just record them fighting each other. Like if I die, hey, I die happy man. I'm watching the kaiju fight in real life. Let's do it.
my
that's-
favorite movie.
Remy.
Ooh. Oh wait,
how
no,
do
Nick
you-
didn't answer the. Nick didn't answer the second
Oh, go
part
ahead,
of the
Nick.
question.
I'm sorry
My
about
favorite
that.
movie. I'm gonna kick it with the 2014 Godzilla.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh,
his
really?
his iconic airplane scene where the whole airport exploded and he first introduced himself with that gigantic roar
Oh, yeah.
just said it all.
Yeah, that.
He's like, I'm here and I'm here to set balance to the earth.
Yeah,
Right.
that was super
That
awesome.
scene.
And I always say that Gareth Edwards, to me, I think he saved Godzilla because to me, as a producer, a director, he had the most pressure on him because this movie is fresh off the 1998 Downfall.
Mm-hmm.
That
So
is
now
true.
he makes this movie, and what I like about the Monsterverse, everybody who's been a part of it, they have some kind of knowledge of Godzilla. They have some kind of knowledge of
That's where we
Godzilla.
all see that coming because everyone were very blind. They really didn't know about Godzilla. Everybody thought he was born from an egg, but he's actually just a living creature. That's what my parents and I thought. Was he created from an egg? Or it was like, no, there's got to be something else. But then I was like, oh shit. I didn't know that was the atomic bomb. I really didn't know it was that.
So hey, Remy, we got to get you in on this. How do you think the Monsterverse performed so far? And what is your favorite Monsterverse film to date so far? And Kyle and Nick, y'all gave some really, really good answers, by the way, man. Some good answers.
They're really bad. They're really great.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like the Monsterverse is performing rather well. I felt like, yeah, I'll admit it. We kind of hit a slog, I think, when King of Monsters came out. Yeah, the box office wasn't that great for that one. I know that. But I feel like the Monsterverse really stepped up when Godzilla vs. Kong was released because we were just getting off the back end of COVID and everybody was just wanting to go back to the movies. We were just
Yeah.
That's true.
really helped with that. Like we just wanted to see a giant monkey and a lizard punch each other in the face, and we got that. And I felt like Gareth Edwards. I felt like Adam Wingard really did a good job delivering that. Because I feel like I feel like Godzilla vs. Kong should set an example of how the rest of the Monsterverse should go. Stop focusing on the humans, focus more on the monsters. That's what the people want. And that's what made it such a box office hit. Everybody was like, oh, it's not going to be that much of a, it's not going to make that much money. It's going to be a flop. And then look how well it did when it first came out. I was shocked by how well it did. I was like, oh, wow, this movie's doing really good. I was even impressed by how critics reacted to the movie. Like, they gave King of the Monsters, like, yeah, exactly. They like gave King of the Monsters, like, 42%, and I was like, oh man, now what? And then they look at Godzilla vs. Kong, it has like a 76%. I'm like, oh, so yeah, from what Godzilla vs. Kong did, they need to go in that direction. They need to focus more on the monsters themselves, make them actual characters, so that way when we do get hopefully an end game kind of scenario with the Monsterverse, then the audiences will be enthralled with Godzilla and his co-stars. So that when they do end up in the final battle, we're going to be cheering and yelling and hollering out of pure excitement by just having, yes, I swear. When we get a Monsterverse to Endgame, I'm going on my full Godzilla costume. I'm going on a full
exactly
Godzilla
what
suit.
I'm thinking about.
I'm renting the theater out.
I don't, exactly. I'm going to get my own private theater. I don't want anybody else in the theater. Like, get out.
At some point, if they do choose to end this Monsterverse, I feel like the movie that should end it all, in my opinion, should be Godzilla versus Destroyer, and Godzilla fight to his last breath and win, but walk off and just take a look back at the humans and just go.
Oh,
like Final
yeah,
Wars.
Like
Yeah,
Final
Like what he
Wars.
did in
Like
Final
that.
Wars, when he was like swimming, he like turned around to the camera one last time and roared.
Mhm.
Yeah, where he roared.
Like that.
Yeah, speaking of Destroyer, I remember seeing the Oxygen Destroyer being plunged into the ocean where Godzilla and Ghidorah fought. But I had a feeling and a theory that Destroyer will make an appearance in the Monsterverse because what the human characters did was that they created another monster, and that's what the Oxygen Destroyer did, was create Destroyer. Same thing with how Dr. Serizawa feared that the Oxygen Destroyer would be used as a weapon, but it turned
Right.
out that it created another monster, similar to how the weapon of the nuclear radiation did to Godzilla. But Destroyer had no empathy. He's like Bane. He's like Bane with no sympathy whatsoever.
Mhm.
Imagine him like picking up Godzilla up on his back and then slamming his back, like breaking his back, completely helpless.
Oh man, yeah.
God, that would be brutal.
That's gonna be, man. That's probably, and I agree with you, Nick. That probably should be his final showdown. And I want them to keep building so people can get more and more familiar with Godzilla. And I think that's what happened with King of the Monsters, which is strange because when the King of the Monsters came out on DVD, it was like the number one selling DVD in the world. But
Mhm.
in the box
Oh,
office,
wow.
I'm thinking they should have picked a better box office spot because around
Yeah.
that time it came out, they had other movies come out that was more popular than Godzilla.
Yeah, it
over
was
in
like
the
just
US.
a couple of weeks, I think, after Endgame. Like Endgame was still paying box office pretty
Right,
high
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So I think that was
And then
maybe a big mistake, having it come out like that. To me, it's still an awesome movie, but I agree with you, Nick, and I like your theory too, Kyle. That was awesome, and
Thank
even
you.
you, Remy, Godzilla versus Kong, man, I liked it. Having Godzilla and Kong, I think they had the right balance for it too, because it felt more like a
yeah,
Kong movie to me as it should, because
Yeah.
Godzilla's been a part of the MonsterVerse. Well, he's had more movies. So it did feel like a Kong movie. So I like the balance. I like that Adam Wingard did that, and he was just like, "We'll see the humans, and then okay, let's watch them fight." So and the fights were
Yeah.
awesome, especially the last
and then
act.
for
Exactly.
the last act was great. And
Yeah,
then for
the
my
last act.
favorite MonsterVerse movie, I'm gonna go with Godzilla King of the Monsters. That's my favorite.
King of the Monster. Okay. Yeah, I'm stuck between that and Godzilla versus Kong. And
I
2004.
representing Surge, representing.
I think that's probably why, because I think King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong brought like all Toho's big fives together, because Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mechagodzilla are all part of Toho's big five. So
Mhm.
it's
Yep.
definitely makes sense, because where I'm seeing where you all kind of like feel like in a mix between those two movies of the MonsterVerse is because of those Toho co-stars.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm
'Cause we-
surprised Toho gave Adam Wingard rights to at least bring in Mechagodzilla. I
Yeah.
was shocked about that. I
I
wasn't
was
expecting
surprised too.
Toho to
I was
release
surprised they
something
brought
like
him in
that.
that early.
I kind of
Honestly,
knew it from the
I thought they were gonna
start.
save him later.
I really
I was
knew it.
expecting like a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla down the line, not have a 2-on-1 battle, but have his brain as King Ghidorah.
Oh yeah,
That was a
Yeah,
Adam
That was
I
Wingard
love
did
that
a
twist.
perfect twist on that one. Adam Wingard did.
Yeah, that almost made me think of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, because all this movie is more, even though it's a Kong film, but it's more like a love letter to King Kong versus Godzilla and Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like how it
Yeah.
fitted.
Yeah, that's true, because you get a lot of callbacks, whether it's with Kong, whether it's with Godzilla, and I'm really really impressed with how mobile Mecha Godzilla was. Like that was awesome, because I'm kind of wondering like how he's gonna look, how he's gonna move, and they did a great job. I mean, I don't think they could have done a better job, and I was like, man, and when they pushed the movie back, I was like, I gotta wait
Yeah, I was mad
for
about
it. I'm like,
that.
I
oh,
got mad. I got really mad. I was
But at
like,
least when they said it was going to be on
Why?
HBO Max,
Why
I was
you
like,
really
fine.
got mad, Ren? Like, I'm just curious. I want to hear like your opinions.
I got
Yeah.
okay. So I got mad the first time when they said they were gonna move it to like November of 2020. I was like, really? We gotta wait an entire flipping year for you
That's
guys to come out.
exactly what
That's great.
me and my friends felt, and we were like, "Come on, we've been waiting for this film like for ages, and now
Yeah.
we have to wait another year to wait until like
May.
COVID." You really gotta
Originally, it was like May. Yeah.
And that was my biggest thing because it was getting ready to come right around the corner. So I'm watching this first trailer like every day. I'm like, man, I cannot wait for this movie to come out.
Yeah.
And then I started hearing the rumors. I started hearing the buzz while I was at work. And it was like, oh, it's going to get pushed back. And I was like, I ain't seen it yet. So I'm like, oh, they're just talking. I get home. I was just start seeing videos. Oh, Godzilla versus Kong been pushed back. I was like, you know what? My life is over with. Now I can't see this film in November. Like, you know, I was ready for it. I was really, really excited for it. Kyle, we're about to get with you. We're about to play a game with you.
Here we go.
There we go.
Woo. Yeah, this is why I said what I said.
There we go.
All right,
Roy,
so-
what do you got?
So this game, and before we start, Remy and Nick, do y'all have any questions that y'all would like to ask a part of this as well, or do y'all want to just go with it?
You know what?
Um,
I'll ask a quick question before we start it.
You got okay.
If you want to go first, Remy, go ahead.
No, you got one. I got a question, but I'll let you go first.
It's gonna be part for you too, Remy, and you too, Donald.
Okay.
Kyle,
Okay.
what attracted you so much to Gamera?
I would say he's more like it's gonna be a funny one. He's gonna be more like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a Godzilla suit because he's definitely like more like the rival to Godzilla, and I feel like he needs to be more recognized. So that's why I feel like he needs to be added into the Monsterverse somehow. Like I don't want him to be another a bioweapon. I want him to be like an alpha titan, just like Kong or Godzilla, where his kind will be killed off by the Gausses, leaving the single Gamma remain, where you'll have to like fight either the king or the queen Gauss. And similar to how Godzilla lost his species to the Mutos, and Kong losing his species to the Skull Crawlers. I feel like this is kind of like similar to GMK, where I think Godzilla and Kong will have to fight Gamera somehow. And Gamera, either he defeated Kong and Godzilla got angry and just did the same thing to what he did to Kong. Like he relinquishes him and somehow let him live, but then he joins the battle. And I have a feeling the world will have like a better place for 3 alpha titans. Like, when you think of alpha predators, like say like the North Americans, like the mountain lion, or aka the cougar, the brown bears, and the wolves, like each of them are like the most top 3 alpha predators of the North America region. So if we put them together with Gamera and Godzilla and Kong, then I think this could really work really well for the Monsterverse.
That's
a good point.
And we have to get Gamera. We actually have a question, but we got to get Gamera in here. Let's see. Did you hear about Godzilla versus Power Ranger comic coming out in April? It will be a 5 or 6 part miniseries.
Right.
Yes,
I did, Dragon. I just heard about it today, man. I was literally about to bring it up later on.
Okay, I just heard about it now, but I've been seeing the pictures. Wait.
That's funny.
I have been seeing the pictures of Godzilla and the Power Rangers, but it didn't say anything. I just saw the photo, so I was like, "Oh, okay, it's cool artwork." Now he just told me, I'm like, "Oh, okay, now I got to get it now." But I have been seeing the pictures all day, but I didn't know it was actually going to be a comic book.
Yeah, I mean, we really need a Godzilla versus Power Rangers movie one day. We really do.
But we know it's the outcome.
I mean, but comics, it's okay. It's pretty fine.
With comics is cool. It's real cool. So we're about to play a game. Go ahead, Remy. Go ahead.
I have my question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to hear your
All
question.
right. So my question is okay. So my question is that this is for all of us.
Okay.
If you could make a Gamera movie in the Monsterverse, what would it be about?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Like I've already had an idea of what I might do for Gamera in Monsterverse, but I want to hear your guys' idea, and I'll share mine.
Mr. Gamera. Wow, Remy, that's a really, really good question. That one caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really, really good question, man. Gamera.
He's watching. He wants to hear it.
Man, oh wow, Gamera. It would have to be. I would make a Gamera movie, similar to the 2014 Godzilla film. I think that would be
Okay.
probably a perfect introduction for him, because 2014 was Godzilla's comeback, and so I would set the tone for Gamera the same way they did for Godzilla, so people can get familiar. So people can get familiar with Gamera. Now, as far as it will, I don't know what it'll be about right off the top of my head, but it'll have that same tone. I'll make sure I give it that same tone.
Okay.
Oh.
But that's a good question, Remy. Really, really good question.
Again, that's a really fantastic question.
Yeah, it is. That caught me off guard. What about you, Cal?
It's just like how similar to like you answered, but in my own perspective way, we have to like probably save Gauss save for another film, just like King of Monsters did. I want Gamera to fight a new original monster, not Gauss, because
Yeah.
similar to the Guardians of the to the Heisei Gamera trilogy, where they put Gauss from the first part of the trilogy as the main antagonist, and then they put Legion or Mother Legion in the second, and then Iris in the last part of the trilogy, because that's
Yeah.
what we want to see from the start. And like, I don't know how they would put Gamera in a way, but if Millie Bobby Brown would return to be in this Gamera movie, or I don't know who would be in it. Either it could be like somewhere like a young kid will have to be in this movie, like be like recognized, like say from a horror movie, like say like these kids. I feel like these kids should be in a Gamera movie somewhere right off the horizon. But as for the director, I have a feeling it's my own idea. I was thinking of that director. I forgot his name, but he did Goosebumps from the 2015 film and
What
Monsters
are you
vs.
talking
Aliens.
about?
Because I feel like he did a really great job with the monsters from the Goosebumps, and I have a feeling he might use that to be more of a PG-13 rating, but a little bit with kids. You know, like I just feel like this Gamera movie needs to put in the spotlight with the kids, even if it's a PG-13 film.
Yeah, I agree with that. And before you go, Nick, Kyle, you touched on a really, really good point. When you're talking about, maybe a Millie Bobby Brown, or another kid being in the film. I always feel like in the monster genre, they should have someone that's well known to be a part of these films, because it helps out. It helps out the film. If somebody might see their favorite actor in this movie, it'll make them want to go check it out. And if
Exactly.
this movie is good, now not only are you a fan of the Millies of the world, but now you just became a fan of a Gamera, of a Cloverfield, something of that nature. So that was really good. Nick, I want to hear what you got to say. Remy, this is a good question, man. Awesome question. Remy checked out.
Remy's frozen.
Remy was in the Matrix.
Oh, he's back from his Matrix world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that movie, by the way. I'm watching The Matrix, the new one coming out.
The Resurrections one?
Yeah, it's gonna be on HBO Max, so $3.99, my guy. But for me, Gamera, that's a good, tough question, Remy. I would have to say I would pretty much do what Donald said, bring him as a 2014 Godzilla type, but also mix in Gamera the Brave when he was a kid. When he was just a little
okay.
I did
boy.
not think of that. That is
that's good, Nick. Yeah, that's real good.
That's a good idea.
How long was the 2014 Godzilla movie? About an hour or two, right?
I think
About an
About
hour.
2 hours,
About,
4 minutes. About two
yeah.
hours.
I would make it a little bit longer, but like, skip it a little bit. Like, show Gamera as a little, turtle,
Yeah.
gigantic little turtle, and progress, move it on maybe 6 years, 7 years. Show him as a teenager, as Godzilla was in 2014,
Gotcha.
that's
as
really
he's a
great.
teenager. And I would honestly bring in Iris as an enemy.
Oh wow,
His
bringing the big
first
guns
challenge.
already.
Oh, really?
Look at the Mutos. Godzilla fought the Mutos, and that was the biggest challenge because they wiped out his entire species. Bring in Iris, who is the toughest one for Gamera to fight. He lost an arm in that battle in the movie.
I think he
That is
just
true.
like somehow put his arm tucked in as his arm was like. I think like you go through a doctor's appointment, you have like this big needle in your arm. That's what Gamera went through. Like he's being stuck with a needle in his arm.
Yeah,
Basically.
I would bring it in just like that. Let him fight Iris, just full metal blow.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I
That's
think
good.
that could really be a great protagonist for a Gamera movie. This is just me, but I would say Selena Gomez should be the protagonist of this movie. Like she's been well recognized in Wizards of Waverly Place, and I think should be like somehow
That's an awesome idea, dude. That's
with
awesome.
that ring in her hand as like the Gamera's right hand girl for this movie.
Kind of like Gia the
It
Kong,
would be good.
basically.
Yeah.
Like Gia's Kong. Why are you in the? Why are you being like that?
Yeah, you want to talk about Godzilla? He's enjoying the conversation.
Yeah.
So, I really love that question, man.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Kyle, you awesome.
I
man.
got
Good idea.
no, yeah, Kyle. I like the idea too, man. I like the idea of because that's similar to kind of my idea too with how I would do a Gamera movie. Like for me, how I would make a Gamera movie. I actually had an idea about this. Is that I would have it be set after Godzilla versus Kong, like about 2 years per se. So like you haven't like Kong and Godzilla have not been seen since then, since after the events of Godzilla versus Kong. They've gone to separate ways. They haven't been seen since then. And then I would introduce, like for me, like you said, Selena Gomez. I would actually have Haley Steinfeld from the Bumblebee movie be the main character for this one. I'd have her show up in this movie, and so with her, she could probably be like the daughter of She could probably be the younger sister of one of the Monarch scientists. Maybe what's his name? What's the guy's name in King of the Monsters who was like kind of making the jokes a little bit? Not Doctor, not Rick Stanton. The other guy, Sam Coleman.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I would have him be like his younger sister, so kind of have like the connection to King of the Monsters. And so with this one, she would actually meet Gamera. Gamera would actually, it got to be similar to Guardian of the Universe, where they found him like in the ocean as like a giant boulder. All of a sudden, he just wakes up out of nowhere.
Yep.
I would have it be like that, and I would have Gamera and Haley Steinfeld like form a connection throughout the movie. That would make more of a heartfelt kind of storyline where you actually get to know Gamera as a character and get to see them kind of like form a connection with each other, a bond. And for the villain, I'd actually do something interesting. I would actually bring them on the Kaiju from the Showa Gamera series, reinvent them in a new way. I would actually bring back Kyle might know him. I'm going to bring back Barugan from the Gamera Showa series.
Barugan, that's a great
from the main villain. I want to bring him back.
That's a good one, Remy.
Yeah,
and I would have them take on each other like in a fight at the very end, and Gamera's like actively protecting the humans. And for Gamera's role in the Monsterverse, I'd actually make it interesting. I'd have Gamera be like the Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
takes care of interdimensional, universal kind of threats. And so anything that like happens, like he has to keep. So Godzilla keeps balance on Earth. Gamera keeps balance of the universe.
That's a
in order to, so nothing happens. So then, like, let's say if Destroya like actually calls out and like brings monsters from like different dimensions, you could have Gamera show up and just go, "What's going on? What's happening right now? This is bad. This is really bad, guys." Like,
come
bringing monsters from all different universes.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Like, we'll have like Kong rule the whole Earth. Godzilla protecting the surface world, and Gamera protecting the universe, which is the sky. So we'll have like three monsters based on the Earth's natural elements, like earth, water, and air.
And that is awesome. And I would have and for my movie, I just thought about it. So the first Gamera movie I saw is when he fought Giron. So I would actually let that be his first. I would let that be his first. I was at my grandma's house and I was watching it, and I saw Giron. I'm like, his design is pretty cool, and I fell in love with that movie. And I always used to watch it because of his design. Because to me, as a kid, it was unique. So my brothers, they wasn't watching it with me. I'm like the oddball out. Well, besides my mom, and my auntie watched, kaiju films with me. But I would definitely bring him back as an opponent for Gamera.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I would actually like to see Giron come back. That would actually be pretty cool.
But wasn't he like an alien monster similar to Virus?
Yeah.
There you go. You could have him crash down to Earth, and that like brings Gamera out.
Yeah, that would be like something like similar to Ghidorah in King of the Monsters. He wasn't part of the world's natural order.
Right.
That'll be somewhere like where Giron and Virus and either Space Godzilla or probably a new monster would be part of it.
So let me ask you a question real quick, Kyle. Did you see that fan made 2016 Gamera trailer?
Yeah, I saw that. But
man,
unfortunately, it did not get out. Like that leaves many fans disappointed. So
it was so good that it made me so mad when they said that was not an actual movie. It was a test reel. I'm like, what? Make it a movie.
I remember when I first seen it. I was like, are you serious? Like,
I know. I was like, oh, come on, damn it! You can't make an actual movie. It looks so good. I was ready for the movie to come out. I was like, yes, Godzilla's getting a reboot. Time for Gamera to get one too. Didn't happen. I was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, why not? Let Gamera get the back end.
They gotta bring Gamera on. Kyle, this has been a pretty good stream, man. I've enjoyed having you so far, man. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Great conversation, man. It's been really
good to have you on, Kyle.
Yeah, it is. Serge, we miss you, Serge. We wish you could be here. We're about to play a game with you, Kyle. And this game is called.
Here we go.
This game is called Quick Thoughts. So I'm going to ask a question. Each of you can answer. If you can't come up with an answer, you can choose to pass.
All right.
So
go ahead.
So here we go. If you could be one Godzilla, just one, who would it be? Would it be the Showa, the Heisei, the Millennium, or the Legendary Godzilla?
I would say, as much as I love the Legendary, which he is portrayed as the hero, and the Heisei and the Millennium, where he's kind of a mix. But I would stick with the Showa because he's more heroic and make him more like a great, iconic superhero type of monster. Because that's what somehow got me into. Because the first Japanese Godzilla movie I ever watched was Godzilla vs. Gigan. That was my first introduction to Godzilla. But '98 was my first American Godzilla. But the Godzilla vs. Gigan was my all-time favorite, and I was like seeing Gigan brutally beating him up. Like I was like, take this. I was like, what the heck? And then I was like, start beating Gigan and helping Anguirus out with the door. I was like, oh my god, so awesome! It's like this is how you somehow knew this is going to be part of your life.
Yeah. And Gigan, to me, he was a really, really tough opponent. He's another kaiju that has a really, really unique design. And I would love seeing him in the Monsterverse, by the way.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yes, bring him back. We need him back.
Like the Joker. I mean, even though King Ghidorah is Godzilla's to Joker, but I would say he's like the second Joker. And to me personally, he's more like I would say Two-Face because
I was about to say that.
He makes like decisions on his own. Either he wants to continue to fight, but he just backs away after his tide battle turns against him. But
Yeah.
in versions of him, in the Final Wars, he's very incompetent. Having his head
is.
blown off by Godzilla's
He's an
atomic
idiot.
breath and having his own razor just slicing his own head. Imagine like this is like your knife, and then you just cut your own neck by accident, and you're just walking headless.
Yeah. And that's really.
I
really
always thought
true.
of Gigan as like a Starscream kind of character.
Yeah,
Like, he would be the one to like swear his allegiance to you, and then like be a coward in the end. Like Godzilla would come up to them and go, "Okay, don't hurt me, Godzilla. I'm sorry." And that's what Gigan would be like. Like he could beat up every other monster, but then as soon as Godzilla shows up, he's like, "Oh, time to bounce."
Right.
leaves.
Nick, this is for you. You can only be one Godzilla. Showa, Heisei, Millennium, or Legendary. Where you going?
It's gonna be really cliche. I'm like battling between the Heisei and the Legendary.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of hard to pick, but I'll probably go with the Legendary
Okay.
because
Alright.
I feel like this one has very attached emotions in each movie, in each of his movies. He has very attached emotions.
Yeah.
You know, the 2014, he was just a teenager and he wanted revenge on what or who killed his entire family. And then boom, King of the Monsters, someone threatened his, his throne.
Right.
And then you got when he, got hit with the what's the thing called, the oxygen destroyer.
yeah, the oxygen.
And you had Serizawa actually touch him and say goodbye, old friend.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, it looked like Godzilla shedded a tear for a second.
Yeah.
It looked like he shedded a tear.
Yeah, it's like Batman version of Godzilla. Like
And
he
then you
lost his
had Godzilla versus Kong. They both fought, and it was mixed emotions. And the humans had perfect ties to it. All emotions were there. And turns out, certain humans were just being jerks, creating something that should have never been done. And you had a uniform team formed that nobody would have thought would happen.
They're like so naive. They really don't know what they're doing. But nature always wins. So it's like, this is going to be Ian Malcolm sort of way. Life finds a way.
Yeah. Life finds a way.
Nature's always gonna win. Good answer. Good answer, Kyle. Like your perspective. Good answer, Nick. You always giving gems. Remy, you can only be one Godzilla. Showa, Heisei, Millennium, or Legendary. Who you going with?
I'd probably go with maybe I'm probably gonna go with Millennium.
My
I'm
favorite.
gonna go with Millennium.
Okay.
Why'd you have
I would
that
go
ready
with
like you knew he was gonna say it?
Actually, no wait. You know what? I'm gonna change my answer. I'm gonna go with Heisei. Actually.
Okay. All right.
I would go with yep. There you go, Nick. I'm gonna go with Heisei. But for me, what I would do is that I would make, if I was Heisei, I'd probably be a little bit more heroic, I guess, than just destructive. But I would be Heisei because Heisei kind of reminds me of being a grouch, and I am a grouch sometimes. And I get really annoyed with a lot of people. So I feel like with Heisei, if I get annoyed, I just go, and it's like blowing them up, and it's like, anyway, back on my merry way. But then, of course, if an enemy shows up, I'll go, all right, fine, I'll save the day, I guess. So, like, I still have that kind of like heroism, like anti-hero kind of sense. Like, I wouldn't really want to hurt anybody. Like anybody, again, like with Heisei Godzilla.
Sorry,
he doesn't
guys.
attack.
My parents were doing that to me.
Show
This is what
They're
they
fine.
show me. Like, they just did this to me.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Sorry, but
That's awesome.
my
That's
parents
awesome.
can be absolute pain in the butt. All, but
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, guys. If they,
No, you good. You fine.
No,
You
you're
good.
good. No,
We
I did, I
had
did, I
we had
did.
multiple
Sorry,
interruptions
they're
in
just
certain these things.
It's no worries, man. We just here to have fun, laugh.
yeah.
Uh,
This was a Christmas present, like last year, and my mom designed that. You know.
dude, that is fire. That's awesome,
nice.
man. That is awesome. That is
Love
awesome.
it.
Question number 2, Cal, coming back to you. Gigan, who would win in a fight, Gigan or Space Godzilla?
Oh man, Space Godzilla. I mean, as much as I want Gigan to win, but unfortunately, Space Godzilla has so much powers in Gigan. He has that powerful shield, and he can use crystals from underground, like we see him do this tactic before. But even though Gigan can fly, I have a feeling like I'm gonna say he's gonna retreat. You know, because Space Godzilla is so powerful. He's I would say he's like the brother to Godzilla because that's what he really is.
Yeah, that's really a good point. I like that. I like that, Kyle. What about you, Nick? Gigan or Space Godzilla?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Kyle, Space Godzilla,
Okay.
because yeah, Gigan could fly and everything, but look what Space Godzilla did to Mogera.
Yeah,
With one
he's gonna
prick
be
of
just like
with
that.
a slight prick of a shard, this small, it blew out an entire engine. So who knows
Well,
what
Mogira's a
Space
punk,
Godzilla
to be
could do?
honest.
Well, he was built in mechanical. Now
Magira-
imagine if a little shard pricked Gigan, what would
Magira
happen?
is one of those. He's one of Dr. Robotnik's creations. He's
Oh
like
God,
Oh man,
Robotnik.
robotic.
Dr. Eggman, one of Dr. Eggman's creations.
Yes,
Remy, Gigan, or Space Godzilla? Who's winning that fight?
I'm gonna have to go with my boy, Space Godzilla. Guy wouldn't really stand a chance, honestly. Because like again, what Carl pointed out, Space Godzilla just has like an arsenal of like powers at his disposal. Like literally, his beam. I saw this on Wikizilla. They said that his beam he can actually redirect it, like with his telepathy. So like he could shoot his
Space
beam, and
Godzilla,
if he
yeah.
misses Gigan, just change direction, hit Gigan right there. Like it's in
Oh, man,
it's like in the scene of like
that's a
one
crucial
movie
power to
where
have.
like yeah, no, like it's cool because in like one scene in the movie, like in the action movie, you see the beam kind of like wrap around Godzilla for a quick second and like shoot him in the chest. So that like this hints that Space Godzilla can like redirect his beam to hit Godzilla wherever he wants.
Now, one thing I did like about Space Godzilla's beam and Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, it kind of had like this curve-like effect. Like, when Godzilla shoot hits, it's just coming straight at you, but it kind of had like it's almost like a lightning bolt, but it had a curve to it. And I thought that was real unique in that film and in the time of that film that came out. And I feel like with a lot of these designs, Toho was really ahead of their time when they were creating and designing these monsters, and that's what makes these monsters so unique. So I have to give a lot of credit to Toho for what they've been able to do and for how long Godzilla has been able to make movies. Longest movie running franchise right now. Cal, where would you rather live? Skull Island or the Hollow Earth?
As much as I love the Hollow Earth, I think Skull Island's definitely the greatest because I would just ignore the 2017 Kong Skull Island, but focus on the 2005 or the 1933 Skull Island because it looked almost phenomenal. Seeing these prehistoric creatures on Skull Island looked amazing, but but I think this is really true because I think this is where you would live. Like, this is your home, and Kong lives on that island because, but you're gonna have to deal with a lot of competition, and you're gonna have to deal with B-Rexes and Skull.
Yeah, that's true. And I ain't trying to deal with that. I don't want to look at no V-Rexes, no skull crawlers. I ain't with all that. I'm not.
Or even that Spinosaurus one in the stop motion YouTube video.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah. I don't work for Animal Planet.
Oh, that's true.
Let's not forget about the bug.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about the mother long legs and
Yeah, those big bugs. I'm like,
Oh yeah, they're like
unnatural
Kumongas of the
size.
Monsterverse.
Yes. We all thought that was Kamanga in the trailer. We were like, Kamanga? Is Kamanga going to show up? But there wasn't Kamanga. We were like, dang it.
No, it was Skula.
Nick,
Yeah.
where would you rather live, Nick? Skull Island or the Hollow Earth?
Honestly, I would put it in a picture as if I was Kong, I would live the Hollow Earth because, you know, I'm a fighter. I protect what I live in, and the Hollow Earth has so many things, that's very dangerous. And alone, my throne is in there. My family heirloom is in there, along with my family heirloom weapon. And there's so many things down there that, endanger the earth.
That's true. That you really want to know where your family is, but when you go down to the Hollow Earth, it does feels like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Only thing that scared me about the Hollow Earth is I don't know how many monsters and what kind of monsters are down in there. And I know I'll be safe on Skull Island as long as it's quiet. If nobody's making no crazy noises, I'll be scared to live at both, but just because of what can happen. But I haven't seen all of the Hollow Earth yet, so I'm gonna have to pick Skull Island. Remy, Skull Island or the Hollow Earth, where would you rather live?
Hollow Earth, honestly. Skull Island is just literal hell on Earth, to be honest. Every single movie shows Skull Island to be terrifying, and I do not want to live there. I'm like, oh, skull crawlers? No. Giant spider that can literally stab its leg right through my mouth? No, thank you.
No.
A bird that can literally saw off my arm? No. What's wrong with you? And Hollow Earth, I don't gotta worry about much. I just gotta worry about Doug. That's about it. But Doug's horrible. I like Doug.
What about that monster underneath the ground? Because that was meant to be a movie, but unfortunately, it got cut due to budget reasons.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't think. Yeah. I mean, I have to worry about Hellhawks, but Hellhawks are in caves. So I wouldn't go in any caves. And Warbats, I would just try to stay away from those things too.
Yeah,
I probably just hide from them.
You float too far up like Colin was doing. Warbat might come and grab you.
Yeah, exactly. They might see me and go, you look delicious, and then just eat me.
Like creatures from 2005. They kind of homage me to those bat-like creatures from 2005. And I remember encountering that queen bat-like creature in the video game of.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
I remember that too.
I know what you're talking about. I just beat the video game again.
Oh wow!
I remember playing it all the time. It was so fun. I would say playing Jack Sparrow. No, not Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Oh my God! What's his name? Jack. Yeah, his name's Jack.
Jack Driscoll.
Jack Driscoll and Kong in the game. It was amazing. And I spent loads of time on it.
Man, I'm loving this. Getting some good answers from you guys. I have two more questions. I'm gonna say this last one. I know this last one's gonna be real good.
All right.
Kyle, I got two Titans here. If you pick one, the other can never exist.
Oh Lord, not this one again.
We're gonna go.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What?
We're gonna go Rodin or Mothra.
As much as I love Rodin, but I think I'm gonna go for Mothra because she is the queen. You gotta respect the queen. Respect your mom. That's what I'm gonna say. Because Godzilla and Mothra are the king and queens of monsters. So you gotta be respectful because they're I would say more I don't know how to put their names in other universes, but they're really more respectful. And Mothra, on the other hand, has a little few more films than Rodin because she got the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy, which that was for the kids. But unfortunately, I think she only just been in a lot of Godzilla movies, but she only had 4 of her own movies, and I hope she maybe reappear again as a new version of Mothra. Maybe we might get a new Mothra for the new Mothra movie for the Monsterverse. Excuse my question.
That'll be really, really awesome. Good answer, because Mothra listening, Rodin probably listening. I want her to fly over my house and flatten my house.
He's like, y'all dissing me?
Rodin or Mothra, Nick?
Honestly, I'll go with the queen.
Okay.
You can't downgrade her. Look at what she does. She dies, comes back as, different forms of herself, as in the trilogies. And then if you look in GVK, she sacrificed herself and did that to destroy King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
You can't downgrade her. She sacrificed herself.
Let's not
So
forget
Godzilla
Rodin
lives.
sacrificed himself to save Godzilla too, because he merged with his energy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I remember that.
That's one of my favorite scenes ever. Like, I think that's probably one of the few times
I think that
I
pays
felt
the
something with
logic.
Rodin. Yeah, that's awesome. That was awesome. Remy, Rodin, or Mothra?
I'm gonna have to go with probably. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mothra.
Okay. All
Like
right,
to
good.
me, I feel like she's just such an iconic monster, and like she decides such an important role in all the Godzilla films because she's like that perfect link between humanity and the Titans. Like the same with Godzilla. Like those two, I feel like are like the closest connection, along with Kong, between humanity and Titans coexisting with one another. Like Rodin, I'm just gonna be honest. Rodin's just an asshole, man. Like this guy's such a jerk. Like, he is just like such a coward. Like the minute King Ghidorah shows up, knocks him down, Rodin's just like, "Can I sign your shoes for you, sir?" Like, really, Rodin? Really? You're gonna put up a better fight than that? You're not gonna join your homeboy Godzilla? You're just gonna be a traitor? Like that?
You want to talk about Two-Face? That's a Two-Face right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Final question. This is the final question for this game. What movie would you rather watch? You can only pick one. The Son of Godzilla or the 1998 Godzilla movie?
Oh. Oh man! Why you have to put us in
man? All right, I'm done. I'm out. Later, y'all. All right. I'm back.
There's a coin that I would choose, but I have to say Son of Godzilla because that one's much better than the 1998. But to be honest, the 1998 was all right, but it didn't look like the actual character. They took God out of the name, and then they were just using it to create an animal. They were not really making the monster.
Oh my gosh! Oh man. Okay, so you said the Son of Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
Nick, the Son of Godzilla.
I'm just gonna stop you there because I'm just gonna go with Son of Godzilla because the 1998 version, Lord, Kyle's not wrong. It took the word God out of it. Just leave the word Zilla. He didn't.
No, not even Zilla. Just call him trash. How about that?
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't look like.
Let's call him pure garbage.
Like really trying to throw a hate on this movie, but I just gave it a second chance. But it's pretty fine. But they had the title, but it didn't look like the actual character.
Exactly. It's not what we grew up seeing. Godzilla, the tank that takes missiles after missiles, busts through bridge, not dies on a bridge and dies because of a missile.
Yeah, it's more like it's trying to find its natural habitat. Like, how would a dog move into its new environment? Like, say, in its new house.
Yeah. And Godzilla really doesn't lay eggs. And in this one, he laid, 20,000 eggs?
Yeah. But here's a really good thing to point out. Because
Dragon said, and he was French.
Exactly.
Yeah, but in this movie,
And he was French. He was French. That's not
he was
French. He's
created by
Japan.
French colonier explosion instead of us Americans. So that makes sense. But they somehow, I don't know how to like put that into words, because that movie kind of like looks almost like a different monster movie, to be quite honest, but it looked really different.
Different.
Yeah, it's like very different, but not an actual Godzilla movie, to be quite honest.
Yeah. It looked like they were trying to pretend Godzilla to be a joke.
Oh my god!
It looked like it was a remake of The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Not
Yeah,
Godzilla.
that's exactly
Yes,
what.
yes.
That's what it looked like to me. I'm gonna make a remake of that.
Remy, Son of Godzilla, other 1998 Godzilla.
Oh man.
I'm about to go with Son of Godzilla, because here, listen to me. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Badassery right here, guys. Got giant claws. Got giant spikes. He got a cool looking head. What did they do to him? Make him a freaking iguana in a 1998 movie. Oh yeah, we're smart. We got it. We understand the fans. Son of Godzilla.
But like,
because
look
at
at
least
the
Son of
animated
God- yeah.
series. Like,
Look
look
at
at
the
the
animated series did it better.
Yeah.
I hate that movie, man.
You know,
Like,
Remy.
Even
At
Son of
some
Godzilla,
point-
I will say this. Even Son of Godzilla has that beautiful ending between Godzilla and Minya where they're actually on the island hugging each other. And Godzilla actually becomes a good father at that point. At least it has that. I'll give it that. That's a good scene. Godzilla 98
here's a
has
really good
nothing.
Here's a really good thing to point out. Everybody was thinking if Godzilla was a male or a female in Son of Godzilla, and the answer was neither. Godzilla was never usually referred to as a male or a female, but rather just an it. So many fans are just going to say it's a he. So that probably like made sense.
Yeah.
Because he just found the egg. He didn't give birth.
Yeah,
to
it's
him
like
anyway.
more like another of his kind that made this to say.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking like, well then where's Miss Godzilla?
Oh man,
You know-
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. We really don't know what the female Godzilla is. And with the 1998 animated series, they made Komodorax, like more like the female version of Godzilla, but more like a Komodo dragon.
I love
Yeah.
Komodorax. Komodorax is awesome.
Yeah, well,
They need to do that with the Monsterverse. They need to bring in like a female Godzilla or a female species of Godzilla, just like hiding out
yeah,
there somewhere.
I think so, but I don't think it's
Like-
really going to happen.
Like my dude, he needs a woman. All right, he's sad. He lost Mothra. That was his only.
Nah,
woman, right? Now he needs another one.
he don't need no woman. A woman to throw him all off his game. He'd be late coming to
No,
fight.
he needs one. Donald,
Oh,
he
yeah.
still fight.
He said
never
he'd be
gonna
late coming up fights.
Like,
He's like, hang on. He's like, hang on, baby, hang on. I'll be right back. I gotta take
And
care of Gamera again.
Godzilla, big boy, he gotta eat, man. She mess him. She throw him all off his game.
Yeah, I'm paying the bills and everything. Like, like, honey, can you pay the bill? $500. What have you been eating? What is
You
this?
remember that building you stomped on, like on 3rd Street?
Oh,
you gotta
God.
pay for that.
I have.
This is the first time I've ever heard of that. Gotta pay
Oh
for
my
my
God.
This is God.
Kyle, I have two more questions for you. Are you familiar with War of the Gargantuas by any chance?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the War of the Gargantuas, but I'm planning to see it when I have a chance. I mean, like, I heard this movie was meant to be the sequel to Frankenstein Conquers the World, aka Frankenstein versus Baragon, because I feel like this movie was meant to be for Germany, if I might put it that way.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this meant, but it was actually a standalone film, because that's what War of the Gargantuas is meant to be. But unfortunately, we never really got the sequel to Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Okay, man, it's awesome though. It's really, really awesome. We actually had we did a movie review on it. Remy actually refreshed my memory because I remember like just passing through my aunt's room because my mom and aunt, they're big Kaiju fans as well, and I would see it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. And so my auntie, she just loves that movie, and of course, she's a crybaby, so she cries every time when she watches. I don't know why, but
Because Santa dies.
Yeah,
We love Santa.
what?
You don't
Kumi
wanna see him die.
Mizuno in that movie.
yeah.
Oh God. Oh my God.
So,
The acting in that movie is so bad.
oh,
Watch the Japanese original. Do not watch the dub. The dub is horrendous for that movie.
before we let you get out of here, Kyle, who would be the next villain that you would like to see in the Monsterverse, and your favorite Monsterverse scene so far of all time?
Oh, that's a really tough question. Normally, I would always pick Gigan, Space Godzilla, or Destroyer because that's or even Violante. But those are the things that I think a lot of fans really want. But to me personally, I don't want to see those guys. But in the next future films, I want a new original Monsterverse Titan in this upcoming Monsterverse. We need a new original Titan instead of like borrowing the rights from Toho. That's all they get. So that's all I wanted to see. I want to see a new original monster, not from just same thing with the Millennium series did. They borrow all the monsters for the past films. That's basically what I have to say. And my favorite scene in the Monsterverse is actually seeing all the monsters bow to Godzilla as the king. And then that's my favorite scene. But actually, if you read the prequel novels called Kingdom Kong and Godzilla Dominion, you'll probably see.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
But bowing is mostly my favorite part of the Monsterverse film.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome, man. Cal, man, look, we had a lot of fun with you, man. We're definitely gonna have to get you back on here. Before we go, those who are watching and those who will be viewing in the future, could you tell them where they could find you as far as your social media platforms?
I do have a YouTube channel. It's Kyle Naversen, like what you see on my corner. I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm also on everywhere, but you can find my artwork on DeviantArt. It's
I go there.
997. So go to my DeviantArt page, and I also have an Etsy store called AnimeU, which I do basically like everything like kaiju, anime, comic book related content. So if you really want to buy my artwork, feel free to go to my Etsy account and I'll ship them over to you guys.
I'll get with you after this stream is over. This is Donald, Nick, Remy froze.
Remy frozen.
Remy's frozen.
This happens every time.
Remy's thinking. He still think. Remy, come back. We don't know where Remy went. He's gone.
You know what? Before we go, let me ask this: who would you rather have come?
Oh, there we go.
Come into the Monsterverse. Kaiju or Mechagodzilla 2?
Oh, I'll have to go for Kiryu because
me too. Kiryu.
Same with me.
As much as I want to see Kiryu, but I think I would like to see him in a different name, but maybe a reanimated version of Dagon. But Mechagodzilla 2.
That'd be good. Yeah. That'd be good. I would like to see Muto Prime as well.
Yeah.
I know but I would
or
love
even
that.
Mechamuto. That's definitely what I think we saw on YouTube. I think we will have to see Mechamuto.
Oh,
that would be good.
That'll be awesome.
It is bringing a bunch of mechas: Mecha Kong, Mecha Mothra, Mecha Rodin, Mecha King Ghidorah.
Let's just build a team of mechas versus the team of
real we're gonna be having like the Terminator.
Exactly. We'll have Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
All over again.
But we also want to see Pacific Rim in the Monsterverse as a crossover.
Yes.
That's all I want to see.
I would love.
That would be so cool.
Love to see. What are they called again? A Jaeger. I
Jaeger.
want to see
Jaegers,
Godzilla
yeah.
versus a Jaeger. I just want to see that battle because
I want to
it
see
takes two humans
Let's go,
to
Godzilla.
control one thing.
Legendary,
versus-
you gotta put Pacific Rim and the Monsterverse together, please.
Man,
I want to see Gypsy Danger and Godzilla team up, and I want them to
That's
handshake at
exactly
the end
what
like
I
Jet
was gonna
Jaguar.
say.
That would be so
Sort
Sort
cool.
of like,
if they-
sort of like when Godzilla and Jet Jaguar shake hands.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I
Dude.
want Godzilla and Gypsy Danger to
Oh,
just like shake hands for like a
man.
little bit. Just like
this is so
shake
many
hands.
good
And Godzilla's
ideas,
just like,
man.
this is interesting. Never been allies with humans before, but okay. Or I mean, I've never been
You know
allies
what,
with a robot,
Donald?
but we'll do that.
You know, Donald, I'm changing my thing for next week. It's gonna be a theory talk.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh,
All right.
All right, we're gonna see what Nick Remy has not Nick Remy. I'm checking out.
Combine us together.
Nick with the theory.
Megazord.
Man, this was a awesome stream, man. Kyle, we gotta have you back sometime soon, man.
Thank you very much. I will
We're gonna
definitely
have Surge on
yeah.
here too this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, Surge, we have Surge
on
on.
one day.
This was awesome, man. I'm Donald.
I'm Nick.
I'm ready.
And we are the Godzilla Nerds. And shout out to our special guest, Cal, who was awesome, by the way, man. You have a blessed night. And we will talk to you later, man. Peace out.
All right.
All right.
Peace out and stay
Later,
safe.
everyone.
You stay
All right, you
safe
too.
Stay
too.
big.
And
Stay
of
big,
course,
G fans.
long live the king.
Yep. Long live the king. Stay big, G fans.